Hello YouTube, Tyson here again for TVEnthusiast. Exactly 25 years ago, a syndicated adaptation of the cult hit film Highlander hit TV screens around the world. As such, for today's edition of Top 10 Tuesday, we are taking a look at our favorite characters from the 1990s sword-wielding immortals classic. Number 10. Connor. In a cool bit of inter-franchise synergy, Christopher Lambert, star of the original 3 Highlander movies, reprised his role in the pilot episode of the television series. Though Connor MacLeod is a great character in the movies, his part is rather small in the TV show. Number 9. Amanda. Though the character of Amanda earned herself a spin-off series in Highlander the Raven, her greatest strength within the original series was limited to actress Elizabeth Grayson's chemistry with series lead Adrian Paul. She was the Elektra to his Daredevil. Number 8. James. James Horton, as portrayed by Peter Hudson, was a different kind of villain for the series. After multiple undesirable posts within the Watchers organization, Horton became convinced that the immortals his group observed needed to die. With a group of extremist followers, Horton brutally tracked down and murdered a number of immortals before Duncan was able to stop him. Number 7. Chronos. Chronos founded a group of immortal raiders in the Bronze Age that would go on to be the basis for the myth of the Horsemen of the Apocalypse. His gang of 4 included Methos, the oldest living immortal, and close friend to series protagonist Duncan MacLeod. Though Methos left the group millennia ago, causing its eventual fracture, Chronos lived on, always trying to recreate what he had before. Number 6. Tessa. Tessa serves the role as Duncan's love interest for the first 2 seasons of the series, before her untimely death. As the matriarch of a family unit of 3 with Duncan as the father and Richie as the surrogate son, Tessa was a key part of a 3-way chemistry that established the strengths of Highlander as a TV series. She also served to establish what it means for a normal person to have a relationship with an immortal. Duncan will not age, and will not give her progeny, as she faces the prospect of withering away before him. Unfortunately, she did not have long to suffer such a complicated relationship, as she was senselessly gunned down, along with Richie, early in Season 2. Number 5. Hugh. The Who frontman and founder Roger Daltrey took on the role of Duncan's best friend, Hugh Fitzcairn, in the television series. Hugh and Duncan had countless adventures over the centuries, which was portrayed with effortless chemistry between the actors. The character worked perfectly as a comrade-in-arms, drinking buddy, co-conspirator, and romantic rival for Duncan. Though his character was killed in the present by the villainous immortal Callus, Hugh continued to appear in the series in Duncan's flashbacks, showing the many adventures the two had together. Number 4. Joe. Joe Dawson served as our introduction to the Watchers, an ancient organization of mortals who track the lives of all known immortals, without interfering. After Duncan discovers the existence of the Watchers, Joe becomes a friend who irresponsibly crosses the line by influencing the events that occur between Duncan and the immortals he encounters. The Watchers are meant to be hidden and unknown to the immortals, but Joe's relationship with Duncan stirs up conflicts within the organization. Even so, Joe proves himself to be a loyal and dependable friend to Duncan and his close-knit group of friends. Number 3. Richie. Richie shows up in the first episode of the series as a thief who accidentally sees more than he should have, and in doing so is brought into the world of the immortals. Richie is eventually taken in as a surrogate son by Duncan and his girlfriend Tessa. He proves himself a loyal friend who keeps Duncan's confidence, in spite of the danger it puts him in. In the second season of the series, Richie and Tessa are gunned down in a random carjacking. As Tessa dies in Duncan's arms, a deceased Richie revives as an immortal. Duncan becomes Richie's teacher while grieving the loss of Tessa. In an even more shocking moment of the series, Duncan accidentally beheads Richie after he is tricked by a shark-jumping demon. While the demon storyline felt out of place for the series, Richie's death was abrupt, shocking, and masterfully executed. Number 2. Duncan. As the protagonist of the series, Duncan MacLeod comes from the same clan as his ancestor Connor. Duncan, portrayed by Adrian Paul, was the height of cool in the mid-90s. He had long hair pulled back in a ponytail, he wielded a katana, and he seemed to have a worldly accent influenced by centuries of travel. Paul's soulful and focused eyes conveyed decades beyond the actor's own age. Duncan's adventures took him around the world, and he built an identity as a citizen of the world. The entire series rested on Paul's ability to make Duncan a compelling character who was deeply imprinted by the countless adventures throughout the centuries. The character of Duncan proved how well Highlander could work as a television series. Number 1. Methos. Duncan may have had the entire series resting on his shoulders, but he was not the best character in the show. That honor went to Peter Wingfield's portrayal as the oldest living immortal, Methos. The fan-favorite character was introduced as a mythical figure being actively sought out by the Watchers. That is, until we learn that the Watcher responsible for the organization's research is, in actuality, Methos himself, hiding in plain sight. While Methos doesn't enjoy fighting much himself, he is skilled and more than willing to play dirty. To Methos, it is all about survival. He isn't the longest living immortal for nothing. Methos has been cleverly hiding his existence for centuries, and at the time he encounters Duncan, he hadn't taken a head in more than 200 years, roughly 1/25th of the immortal's estimated life. I say estimated because Methos himself is unsure of how old he is, which country he came from, and even what language was native to him. This is due both to his exceptionally long life and the nature of recorded history and the information from the era in which he was born. Methos is sharp, wily, and completely pragmatic. In a show in which the good are honorable and the bad are operatically evil, Methos is, in his own words, a man who was born long before the age of chivalry. Thank you for tuning in to TVEnthusiast.com or our YouTube channel. Stay tuned to TV Enthusiast for more coverage of all of your favorite shows. Don't miss our weekly podcast, The Weekly Set, which is available every Friday. This week we will continue our discussion of the ongoing fall season of television. You can access our podcast on your podcast client of choice or through our YouTube channel. Until next week, remember, there can be only one.